Hello everyone, today we're playing Fires Jank. What that means is we're playing Fires of Invention deck with a whole lot of random cards. Now, if you're not familiar with Fires of Invention, this is a card that limits us to only casting 2 spells a turn, and we can't play anything during our opponent's turn. It sounds bad, but it's actually really strong because we can cast any spell for free as long as we have a number of lands in play equal to or greater than the mana cost of the spell that we're trying to play. So, if we have 5 lands in play, we could potentially play Fires of Invention and any of our 5-drops within the same turn. Or we could just play 2 5-drops in later turns after we play Fires of Invention. So it does have a lot of power. One of our main cards that we're trying to play around is Nicol Bolas. So Nicol Bolas, the Dragon God here, has a +1 that allows us to exile a card from our... we draw a card, and then our opponent is forced to exile a card from their hand, or a card in play. And it also comes in... Nicol Bolas also has a great ability that you -3, you can destroy any creature or planeswalker on the board. And if we somehow manage to make it to a -8, which never happens because people always scoop before you can actually do this, but it allows you to make it so your opponent just straight up loses the game as long as you don't have a legendary creature or a planeswalker. So this works really well in the deck because it gives us extra card draw value for the purpose of playing with fires, so we can just keep playing off the top of our deck and keep building value. Now, our major win conditions for creatures are Baneslayer Angel as a 5/5 flying first strike lifelink creature. Happens to have protection from demons and dragons. Not that relevant, but the fact it's a 5/5 flying first strike lifelink creature means that it's hard for our opponents to answer. If we manage to play against an aggro deck, it will stabilize us. So all in all, great card for the deck. The other card is Cavalier of Gales. Now, this is a 5/5 flyer again. Enters the battlefield, we'll get to brainstorm. So we're going to draw 3 cards and take any 2 cards from our hand and put it back on top of the deck. If Cavalier Gales manages to die, we get to shuffle it back into the deck, and then we're going to scry 2. Now, the only problem with Gales is it does have a triple blue on it, so it's a little hard to play considering how many mana symbols we're using in our deck. But with Fires of Invention in play, that won't be an issue. The other cards that we're running are God-Eternal Oketra, which is just great 3/6 double striking body. It does have the ability that whenever we cast creature spells, we get 4/4 zombie warrior creature tokens with vigilance. We don't have too many creatures to trigger that. We're just mainly using it because it's a 3/6 double striker that, if it were to be destroyed or exiled, we can put it second from the top on our deck, or sorry, third from the top on our deck, to make it so that way it's just a hard card for our opponent to just permanently deal with. Now, we tried to do the same idea with God-Eternal Bontu here, where it'd just be this recursive threat that's hard for our opponent to deal with. But, to be honest, this 5/6 menace body, generally not really worth it. So, saying this now, we'll go over a little bit more of this in the post-analysis. Now, we are running some sweepers in deck like Shadow's Verdict, Depopulate, Farewell, and Realm-Cloaked Giant to help stabilize us and be able to pull off a lot of these expensive cards. Now, Realm-Cloaked Giant in particular is really good in the deck because we can use it for its cast-off and still then bring it back out for being a 7/7 body. And if drawn later in the game, we can actually do that all in one turn thanks to Fires of Invention. Now, some of the other early spells we're using are like Heartless Act, just to be able to serve as some removal. Same with Prismari Command, it serves as removal, card draw, some treasure production. Very versatile card. We have Thrilling Discovery and Ceaseless Spoils as some looting action to help us dig for our Fires of Invention, as well as a little treasure production from Ceaseless Spoils. Overall, I think the deck is really cool and fun, and one of the reasons is that we can use all these spell lands as well and get great value out of them, because sometimes you're going with the idea of, I'd like to really be able to hold these to play spells, but playing them for lands still is very useful because Fires of Invention doesn't care that our lands are tapped. So if we are going to try to play Fires of Invention but we're like lacking normal lands to play them, we have the option to play these spells as lands and be able to then just meet the land requirements to just play cards for free, which is just great. To also take advantage of Fires of Invention, not caring about if our lands are tapped or untapped. We're using a lot of these temples, which allows us to scry when they enter the battlefield. They'll be able to tap from one of 2 mana colors, so they're all really useful in the deck. Now, we try not to overload ourselves with too many temples, because we still need some untapped lands, but they are very useful to the deck. Now, we'll go over some changes for the deck at the end to let you know what are some good upgrades, so make sure to stick around for that. If you happen to like how the video is, I hope you can hit that follow button or the subscribe button and give us a like. See you at the end. Alright, so off the open, we at least have a couple sweepers. We have Mullen here to serve as mana, so we'll keep it. The triple blue from Gales is a little steep with this hand key, but we'll put that on bottom. We already have enough sweepers. I'm going to play Mauling for the land. Alright, this will allow us to add any instant or sorcery to our hand. But I think we'll just play for the blue source. And that way we can just be one more blue source away from Gales here. See, white, blue, angels. Interesting. Alright, we go for Depopulate here. We never want a Righteous Valkyrie to have any chance to develop on board. Let's see, if they're white, blue, angels, that means they're probably running one that they can sacrifice and give all their creatures indestructible and hexproof. But I'm just going to Depopulate, just to get rid of just the one Righteous Valkyrie. Yes, I hate the Righteous Valkyrie that much. Alright, let's go for Nicol Bolas here. We managed to get the mana for it. Oh no, you have a counter spell? Oh, that's rude. But then again, I board wiped you twice, so I can't really say anything about that. Alright. Force the opponent to have another counter spell. Alright, no counter spell. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm actually gonna hold this in our hand so that way we can discard this to the Prismari Command. Alright, draw, discard, create treasure tokens. There's our fires. I guess we'll discard the Gales. No, we don't actually need to. We'll just discard the lands. Alright, go for fires. Go for Gale for free. We'll put Seas and Fires. Actually, not. Prismari Command Fires on top. In that order. And we'll actually still play the land, and we'll put that still on top. Should actually put fires on top. So that way I could have just scried it straight to the bottom. Oh, okay. Then again, if they borrow time to get rid of that, I guess we could just replay the second copy here. But we'll just go for another Cavalier of Gales here. And that's enough to cause the opponent to scoop. There we go. Alright, we'll keep this. I mean, we start with the fires. We have a sweeper, so we'll keep. Kind of want to lead with the visions, just because the land could potentially be taken from our hand with a discard spell. Now, granted, they almost always will take fires first over trying to mess with our... Oh, I thought that was a Scryland. I should have played all the Storm Giants. Oh, that's awkward. Oh well. Well, it's not like we had any play this turn anyways. But we need to draw land in a really bad way right now. It's nice seeing the Wild Growth Walker get some love. I actually did like the old Explorer style deck before. Well, we have plenty of Fires of Invention, but we need land. No, we'll just go ahead and play a second one. What's better than 1 fires? 2 fires. Because it doesn't actually do anything to benefit us. Alright. If they tell us to discard, we just discard the 3rd fires. There we go, there's a land. That's what we needed. Oh, that's a great top. Yeah. Alright, so we'll cast off. Nicol Bolas. Get a plus. And start running away with this game. Now, they do have a destroy spell for our Nicol Bolas. They left Murder Strider on top. So it's no surprise that dies. Oh, wow. Alright, another Nico.
I am one again.
Alright, getting Temple of Science isn't bad, because that means we can get one more land, we can play the Realm-Cloaked.
Weak minds crumble.
Alright, that counts as the land. Thanks to God-Eternal Oketra, if they actually do a destroy spell against this, it just tucks itself 3rd from the top of our deck. And even against Exile, it's the same situation. Alright, so we'll see Oketra back in 2 turns. Let's see, draw a card. If we actually hit a land, nope. You know what? Let's see. If we do this, draw 2, discard. Alright, I'm gonna do this, draw 2, discard 2. And create a trigger. Discard, discard. And I'm actually just gonna hard cast Seagate. No. Hold Seagate for next turn. And opponent skips it up. Alright. Yeah, so that's just very hard to deal with. A creature that just doesn't stay dead, even if you exile it. And since we already had Nicol Bolas here, like I said, if we ever start getting an advantageous position where Nico's about to maybe get to 8, they scoop well before we can ever do that. It's a little bit of a slower hand here, I'll admit, but we do have a Heartless Act as early interaction. We have a Sweeper, so I think this is worth keeping. We'll just lead with Temple of Silence. I don't think we need the Haggard Mauling. We'll put that on the bottom. Alright, since all of our lands for the most part come to play tapped already, I think I'll still lead with... Yeah, I'll go with the Scryland. Oh, fires. We'll keep it. Alright, gonna put that down. Oh, opponent missed their land drop. That's unfortunate. Well, we'll go ahead and do a draw discard right now. I don't feel like I'll need this here, but let's see. can actually just discard both of these. I can cycle the Rafine's Tower for more draw, but I actually want to keep the Seagate Restoration to potentially use it for the large draw boost that it can provide. Alright. Cast Thrilling Discovery. Alright, so they let it resolve, so we'll discard these, draw. Go for Baneslayer Angel. And one of the great things about Fires of Invention is the moment this resolves on the board, all the spells that would tax you mana to try to counterspell aren't going to work on you because you just have all your lands always untapped. And they scoop it up. Yeah, so they missed land, and it was a Teferi-style hard control deck. With Baneslayer on board, they were probably not going to be able to do too much. I keep it. Start with that for the land. Oh, is it elves? Elves could be bad. Put that on bottom. Now, elves actually could potentially destroy a Fires of Invention because they do sometimes run the creature that enters battlefield, destroys an artifact or enchantment. Oh, it's a fight rating deck. Okay. That could still also be very bad. Let's go seize the spoils. I'm actually going to discard a land here. Do we get a turn 3 fight rating going against this? No, we do. Alright, what did it hit? Looks like we're going to need an emergence ultimatum. Yeah, nice. Alright. Yeah, you're not getting the combo. Send this one back, and we still die, don't we? Let's see, 6, 7, and 7 plus another 8, 9, 10. So we're not dead yet. I hate this. I hate the stupid go get all around 15 Volt with Runner Flex Stands Liliana combo. Alright. So we have to hit a sweeper off the top. If we don't hit a sweeper, we just lose. We could still just lose here, but it looks like we have another turn at least. Alright. Nope, not a sweeper. So that just means we lose. Well, for fun, let's go ahead and bring out the fires, just to show them what kind of deck we were. And just to be spiteful, we murder this. That's one of those cards I've always hated since they printed it, was Emergent Ultimatum. This card, once when they put in an extra turn spell, that gives you creature tokens, nonetheless, meant that with the Vornaclex Liliana combo, you either tell your opponent, okay, you win, because Vornaclex Liliana just immediately kills you, or you say, you're likely going to kill me, because you have an extra turn with the 6/6 haste trample creature. That you could potentially top deck the Liliana anyways. Alright, so off the open, we actually have the mana types to go for this Shadow's Verdict, and Seize the Spoils in the opening is a good card, so we'll keep. Lead with the Temple, get the Scry, keep the land. Alright, so we're against mono red. Xander's Lounge helps mana fix us a great deal, so we actually can cast Nicol Bolas as long as we don't hit a land that doesn't have any of the colored symbols in it. Let's see, let's actually go Haunted Ridge, Seize the Spoil, discard Rafine's Tower. That's good, that's good. So next turn we can Shadow's Verdict to clear up these Steamkins. The problem is, can the opponent just go off burning us and taking us down that way? Alright, I actually like the fact that they played another creature to the board. It means Shadow's Verdict hits more targets. It does mean that we take more damage from these Steamkins, unfortunately. So after we hit him with the Shadow's Verdict, you may want to attack first, opponent, then do that. Because you were already at the max amount of damage you were going to do with the Steamkins on the attack. Yes, please, go ahead. Play another creature. Oh, okay. Wow. That was insane. I've never seen anyone get that lucky going off on mono red before. That was a legitimate turn 3 kill from our opponent. And even if we had chose to use Thrilling Discovery to gain 2 life, we would still be dead, Xaxes. So yeah, that wasn't anything I could do against that. The opponent just top decked a nut draw there. That's what happens though once we get 2 Steamkins. And they did a good job reading the line, trying to figure out that they actually have enough ways to do damage here. Because Gitu makes it so that this can be played for 1. Allows them to keep pulling off the counters to just keep playing. Well done, opponent. Well done. Alright, so we actually have a pretty good hand here for dealing with an aggro deck. Now the question is, do we die on turn 3 again? Because we have Depopulate. We have the mana for it, and if we just need 1 more mana of any color for this Baneslayer Angel. I try to think though, it's like, do we keep up the Hagra Mauling? Hagra Mauling will cost 4 mana normally. Because of the fact that it says that it costs 1 less if your opponent doesn't have any basics. So I think it's a case that we just still play Hagra Mauling just for our turn 1 land. Yeah, considering they played the... Alright, mono red again. Alright, we just have to turn the corner, be able to survive to turn 5. That's all we have to do, is we have to survive turn 5. They're definitely going to make it hard for us. Alright. Play that for a land for a turn. It'd be great if we could get something we could do earlier, but... Alright, Thrilling Discovery, we will play this. Discard these. Draw cards. Alright. Alright, so we get to Depopulate here, gets rid of this board. You have a burn spell you're going to use also? Alright. Immediately going for that burn spell. So, after the 2 damage, we take another 1 from here. We go down to 5. This will be able to swing in, bring us down to 3. So if they have a bolt on top, we're dead. We depopulate here. Next turn, it's Baneslayer. Hope they don't have burn for the face. Alright. Any burn to face kills us, but Baneslayer here will save us against any treatment threat. They don't kill us this turn. We attack in with Baneslayer, gain 5 life, play another Baneslayer, and just run back away with the game in our favor. Alright. I think we win now. Because we attack. Play another Baneslayer. And at this point, I don't think there's anything they can do to kill us. Because if they attack in and have a burn spell try to kill Baneslayer Angel, it's not going to happen. Because of the first strike on this. So they can't attack in at all. So it had to be whatever they burned for, had to burn for 7 this turn. Or have to be something that can burn 5 on the Angels. And there's nothing main board that they run that can deal 5 damage for the mana they have. Alright, this is something I'm going to try keeping. Alright. Keep the lands, there we go. I was going to say, as long as we can hit lands, the Fires of Inventions to Nicol Bolas is a strong play. Our opponent's going slow. We're going to use this as our land just to make sure we hit land number 5 for the purpose of Nicol Bolas. I'm not sure what the opponent's doing, but they haven't really committed anything to this board. We're going to throw both of these out there. They're in mono black from what I can see so far, so I don't have any answers to this. Let's go Nicol.
The whole of the multiverse will bend.
See what we can get off the plus. Our Shadow's Verdict, not so useful considering we haven't seen anything from the opponent so far.
My intellect is without limit.
Cavalier here will give us a nice little draw and put the cards back on top. At the moment, I think we're just going to put these two on top and just keep whatever's drawn. Actually, we'll keep the land. Just put both Shadow's Verdict back. This way they actually do murder the Gales. And we'll get the Scry too. We have the land just to keep our land drops going. Alright, so they are an Invoke Despair deck. Let's see, put both on bottom. And opponent scoops it up. Alright. They're not even going to wait to see where we put the Scry. And the thing is, we had the ability to just play another Nicol and go for it, Seize the Spoils, just to draw more value. Alright, we'll keep this. It's a little awkward. Let's see here. Go ahead and lead with the Triumph. Don't have the way to kill that. Oh wait, no, I do. I had to play the Black Source last turn. Oh, that was dumb. Yeah, so I should have went with a Haunted Ridge or the Hagrid's Mauling for my land. That way I could have had Heartless Act as an option to kill this. But the fact that we drawn all of our Heartless Acts makes this really awkward. Alright, so they don't go for a card draw. Pass it back. Kind of want to kill that in response. Alright, there we go. Let's get in response to a spell, so that way they don't have like the ability to grow it. I wanted to kill them. Alright. These Heartless Acts are now kind of useless. I mean, we can shrink the creature back down, but we're not likely to kill anything now. Alright. play this Fires, Mauling, get rid of Sprite Dragon. Because that one grows faster than Fairy Vandal. This one only grows once a turn. This one just grows whenever they cast it on as well. If I go for Nicol Bolas, unfortunately they could just counterspell it. But I think I have to just risk it. If they're just relying on Spell Pierces, it's not going to work. Unless they literally go 3 Spell Pierces. Alright, I forgot about Lofty Denial. The fact that it was Spell Pierce Lofty Denial, that worked. Shadow's Verdict, get rid of your only attacker, get rid of all the copies from your graveyard. I'm gonna hold on to the Seagate. It might be a good idea to keep it just for the purpose of... we could use it for a card draw. It said oops for some reason, I'm not sure why. Oh, I guess they meant to play Teferi and accidentally pass.
Ideas like seconds.
Haven't seen this Teferi played in a while. He's actually a pretty good Teferi. So, get a Scry. They're tapped out, so we can play Seagate.
Think fast.
Put that on bottom. Seagate. Alright, Drain Discovery. Discard. Discard. I mean, Farewell allows us to exile their graveyard. So if they actually do like loot a Phoenix into the graveyard, we can deal with it in advance. But I'm worried about this getting up to 10 since it goes up every turn. Scry. Put that on bottom. Should have actually done this first. Because if I'd done this first, we would have gotten an extra card draw off of it.
Time to improvise.
Alright, that's good, that's good. Go for Gales. Alright. Frantic Inventory, that's also another spell I haven't seen in a while. So I've got a lot more draw in their deck than usually I see in their these style of decks. These two on top. We'll leave them in that order.
Think fast.
Alright, so Vandal's next turn could grow to be just as large as our Cavalry. Or Cavalier. Their creature can't grow again, so we could give that a block. Potentially making it so that the opponent could take 2 extra turns. I don't like the sound of that, so we'll take the hit. Before we do anything, we're just going to see if they'll let us attack Teferi.
Wish I knew that was coming.
Alright. Bottom. Let's destroy all non-giants. Trying to protect myself from the ability of them just using this for the minus to phase a creature so that way we can't block. And try to go for a lethal swing. I like Nicol because it allows us to guarantee the kill on Teferi. Go for Baneslayer. Go for the Baneslayer right now just because I want the lifelink. Get us out of this dangerous spot. Alright. Double Bone Crush does mean that they would have killed us if we didn't sweep. Alright. Are we dead, opponent? Yeah, we're dead. So they see it. They got it. It was a close game. Unfortunately, we just managed to come up that one turn too slow because of Teferi here. It was nice seeing the Teferi see some play again. Because I don't think this one's like one of the overpowered Teferis. I think he's just a very good Teferi. And I'm trying to think, like, what could we have done differently? Unfortunately, we had to put something on the board. But since we're limited to 2 spells a turn, I felt like the other option we had was to 2 damage the Teferi with the Prismari Command and hold Baneslayer as a blocker. The problem is they would have been able to get the draw ability from the Rage here, so the Vandal would have grown. So if we blocked Vandal, we still would have lost the Angel. We would have gained life, but I don't think we would have gotten out of that. Oh well, it was close. Alright, so we'll definitely keep this one. This seems like a really good hand. Alright, Temple, scry that to the bottom since we already have 1 in hand. If this is the deck I think it is, because every single time I see Rafine's Tower, I now just think it's just the Rafine style version of Greasefang. Need lands. It's a good thing we're scrying these to the bottom. Because both of those are good, but we need the lands. Alright, bring this out and pass it back. We actually can't play this Prismari Command because of the way the lands are. Trying to play around Greasefang combo. Go for Seize. Discard here. Make sure to play the land first, just that way we had an untapped one in case they had a Jawari's Disruption. Because that still sees play. Alright. Opponent definitely had some kind of instant speed interaction against us. Alright, just a Memory Deluge. It could just be white, black, blue control. What you doing, opponent? Just passing. Alright. We'll attempt the Fires of Invention. Alright. So it's control. So they're just hard controls, what they are.
My brow is done with thoughtfulness before action.
That's annoying. Go for Shadow's Verdicts. That way we can get rid of Narset. Alright. Unfortunately, they're probably at this point going to bring down the Fun Police because they can play it and hold up Counterspell Magic more than likely. Yep, there's the fun police.
Trust me. You'll hurry.
This is probably the first iteration of Teferi I will always hate. Just because he's so oppressive. Alright. Attempt fires. Attempt Nicol. They don't bother counting fires because they already have the answer to it. But I was trying to see if I can bait out the counterspell just because Nicol Bolas here gives us the answer to their Teferi. One, two, three, four, five, six. We actually have enough that we can activate this. Alright. Put the land on bottom. Alright, with them protecting their Teferi, it means that... Oh, really? They Vanishing Verse it? They don't go for the sweep. Interesting.
Right on schedule.
If they go for the minus to tuck Nicol, we can actually Prismari Command, finish off their Teferi, and draw ourselves back into Nicol Bolas. And with them only having 1 mana, we should be able to resolve Nicol. So the question is, what does the opponent do? Alright, they go for the plus. They're playing it safe.
What? I'm not.
But we should be able to. Alright, we're going to go for the plus immediately. Take away a potential answer card from the opponent. What did they discard?
My schemes are never ending.
Tower. Okay. Hall of Storm Giants. Get rid of your Teferi. They actually could have Fatal Push here and pay for the word of... Oh no, it's word 3, not word 2. I keep thinking it's word numbers slightly less. I keep forgetting about this Shark type in. I should have bolted this in. That way I could have held up Heartless Act to destroy the token. We're still looking at to go for the tuck. We could still Prismari Command kill this, but it has to be on our turn, so we won't be able to likely... Well, we could actually bolt it. Draw 2, discard. No, Nicol won't be in our hand unless we put a stop on our upkeep.
Reverse.
So upkeep stop. Attempt to kill. It forces the opponent to use a counterspell. Let's get another counterspell out of your hand. Because I don't want them having a Teferi, if I can help it. Let's see here. If we go for God-Eternal Oketra, we'll only have 4 mana left over. Still, I think better to go for this right now. Alright. So if they actually kill Eternal Oketra or exile it, it still tucks itself 3rd from the top of our deck, being a recurring threat. We're actually pressuring the opponent's hand quite a bit. Though unfortunately this Memory Deluge does give him a bit of a restock here. Because they are all about counterspelling and doing exile-based cards. Attempt Cavalier of Gales. Try to play around, you know, saving Nicol Bolas for the next time that they go for another Teferi, or catch them once when they're like tapped out, so that we actually can potentially resolve it. All right. Are you going to come in for damage? Interesting. Okay. So the opponent's going to try to race us right now with the Storm Giants. They're just unfortunately 1 mana short from being able to actually play more than one spell in a turn. Baneslayer is a threat that the opponent's going to want to answer. Well, yes, this can hit us for 7. They're probably going to just fire this off just to get rid of the Angel. But they fire that off. It does take 6 mana. They still have enough mana that they can hold up Counterspell Magic. Interesting. Shark Typhoon. Okay. They don't have enough mana to answer Baneslayer with that. Go for God-Eternal. This does mean that the opponent can just sweep us with this again and put God-Eternal back on top. But I'm kind of forcing them into a point where they have to do that. The audio in the game broke again, though. Like, you can hear some of the little flapping noises, but some of the combat sounds have broken. Alright. We'll sacrifice it for that mana. Yeah, see, the treasure breaking sound broke. Yep, hello Teferi. Let's go ahead and get rid of your shark. Unfortunately, Nicol Bolas, if we play it and it does manage to not get counterspelled by the Dovin's Veto, that's probably in their hands. Because watch them untap a white and a blue source. Ooh, I kind of want to do that, but... Alright, Veto? Yeah, we'll go ahead and scoop. I scoop at this point because I don't really have anything I can really do. The opponent's got us pretty much tied because they can activate this to come in for 7. They have this for the 2. That's going to basically half our life total. And with Teferi being able to just plus give them an untap, they'll have more than enough mana to be able to interact with our side. So there's nothing we can do. Alright, it seems keepable. Lead with this. Alright, go for the black-white source. Gonna see some spoils. And discard red-blue. Because we want the black for Shadow's Verdict and Nico. Mono green doing mono green things here. I haven't seen one of these in a while. These are actually a really good 2-drop. Alright, let's see here. We're gonna Shadow's Verdict to get the Exile, so that way they can't replay this. Oh, that's a big boy. Ah, but it won't matter, because we are going to be enlightened here. I'm actually going to leave the land on top. Go for Nicol. And there we go. We blew it up. I was really worried they had a 1-mana protection spell and just blew us out because of that. So if they have any haste creature, Nicol Bolas will bite it, and it will be unfortunate. Because this will give us a whole lot of extra draw value. Oh, they're using Collected Company. A green deck using Coco. Who would have thought? Alright, so Ronus is an issue because it's indestructible. Let's start off doing the plus. The audio breaks in this game, unfortunately, are really weird. You exile a ranger class from hand instead of anything on land on board. Alright. Temple of Silence, Scry. Farewell actually allows us to get rid of Ronus. So we will choose to first spell, discard. Discard Heartless Act, Prismari Command. And now we will farewell. And we will just say all creatures, all graveyards. At this point, the opponent doesn't have any way to come back in this. Like, they could technically try to make it so they can play things off the top of their deck. Alright. Go for the plus. And they scoop it up. Alright. Yeah, as I was saying, they no longer had any way to really play in the game. The crazy thing is, I was going to go for Mauling, give us land number 7. So that way I play Restoration just to depopulate. That way we had a huge hand, even more answers, and then we could just God-Eternal Bontu and whatever we wanted at that point. So yeah, this was definitely a crushing blow against Mono Green, and Fires of Invention definitely showed how well it could work against it. Fires of Invention, unfortunately, is susceptible against Mono Green because they have the Boseiju, the land that they can just discard to destroy an artifact or enchantment. And since we don't run any basics in our deck, we actually don't get the ramp out of it either, so... Okay, as you're able to see, Fires of Invention, very powerful card. The ability to be able to play 2 spells in a turn, regardless of how much mana you really have access to, as long as you have enough lands to meet the requirement, was amazing. Now, the drawback of not being able to play on our opponent's turn does actually hurt against combo, but it does mean that we still end out getting lots of value for ourselves, that it's oppressive to a fair number of other decks. Now, do I think that this is the best build of the deck? Far from, because as I mentioned in the intro, cards like God-Eternal Bontu, not very good in this build. But let's go over some of the cards that felt like they're doing great. Now, I honestly think Nicol Bolas did amazing, did exactly what we were hoping for. Gave us card value, gave us spot removal. You're right there. Yeah, great card. Now, Baneslayer Angel I thought was also working really well. Now, there were times where we came across the mono red, we had the Baneslayer Angel, and it just unfortunately moved a little too slow against it. But that was because sometimes they just got that just overly amazing hand and we died by turn 4. But the times where we didn't die that soon, the Baneslayer Angel manages to come down, save us, and just crush opponents. So I think this is still a include in the deck. because you never know what's going to go against the burn deck, and if you can resolve this, it should allow you to stabilize and run away back against the opponent. Now, cards that you may want to include. You're probably going to want to include some other spot removal options than what we're currently using. Now, I think Bloodseed Thirst, Oath of Kaya, and Cut the Ribbons are some good examples of cards that will help in this deck. Especially Oath of Kaya, because it will be able to enter the battlefield as an enchantment that deals 3 damage to any target, and you gain 3 life back. This will help us be able to get some nice early sustain against those aggro decks. It also does give us a decent early removal spell that hits a little better than Prismari Command, but I'm not saying necessarily cut the Prismari Commands, I'm just saying that it's got a little more impact. Now, I do think the Cut the Ribbons isn't a bad option either, because you can either do 4 damage to any creature, and if it happens to be in your graveyard, you can cast it just to make your opponent lose X life. So it can be used as a way to reach lethal against some opponents. Now, I don't think this is necessarily a must in the deck, I was just saying it's an option for the deck. And I do believe Bloodseed Thirst gives us a nice early 1-drop option against players, where if we do play it in the later part of the game, we can still technically play it for free, but kick it for the extra 3 mana. So we effectively get a 1 mana discount thanks to Fires of Invention. So it's not that much of an issue being able to use that in the deck. So the other cards I was going to suggest that you might want to trim, because Thrilling Discovery and Shadow's Verdict feel a little lacking overall in the deck. Now, Shadow's Verdict isn't bad, but I think we need a slightly earlier sweeper. So that's why I was suggesting maybe we go with some of those 3 damage, 3 mana sweepers, either Anger the Gods, Sweltering Sun, or Deafening Clarion. Now, all 3 of them are very good for their own thing. I think you might want to go with Deafening Clarion with this type of build, because it's only a 1 red, 1 white, 1 of any color, unlike the other 2, which require double red, which actually can be a little harder considering how many colors this deck is. Now, Anger the Gods is great because it exiles. Sweltering Sun's great because you can cycle it in case you're playing against an opponent that it isn't, valuable against. So, I'd say just pick the one that you feel more comfortable with if you want to use that. Other cards that you may want to trim out, I probably would just leave up to your discretion. Cavalier of Gales, I think, could come out because of the triple blue on the card, but like I pointed out before, if you do have Invention on the board, it's not that much of an issue that's got triple blue, but if you're missing the Invention, I could see why you'd want to trim it out. But that's the general idea. I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely had fun with it, and hopefully see you next time. Take care. Thank you for watching the video. Please leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe for more content. If you'd like to join me while I stream, you can find me on Twitch, the link below. I hope to see you again in the next video, and have a nice one.